Alright, it's that time of the day again, time for Money Time on Money9. I'm Sresha Tiwari. Let's roll with today's top newsmakers. So there's some good news on the jobs front. Hiring activity in the job market has grown 22% year on year in June according to the latest data from Naukri.com. The demand for entry-level jobs continued to record the highest yearly growth, that is 30% up in June. Hiring in the 4 to 7 years bracket rose by 19%, while the 8 to 12 years bracket saw 17% growth. The demand for talent with over 16 years experience grew 17%. The sectors that are leading the hiring for freshers include travel and hospitality, which was up by 158%. Retail was up by 109%. Insurance was up by 101%. Accounting finance up by 95%. BFSI was up by 88%. And education was up by 70%. Mumbai continues to lead the race in 3 consecutive months, followed by Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai and Bangalore. Continuing with the good news streak, passenger vehicle retail sales in the country rose 40% in June, indicating an improvement in semiconductor supplies even as demand, especially for SUVs, remained robust. The Federation of Automobile Dealers Association said passenger vehicle registrations rose to 2,60,683 units in June compared to 1,85,998 units in June last year, registering a 40% growth. The chip shortage, however, continues to plague the industry. The waiting periods, especially in compact SUV and SUV segments, continue to remain high. Two-wheeler retail sales last month rose 20% to 11,19,096 units as compared to 9,30,825 units in the year-ago period, FADA has said. And the economy continues to show signs of recovery. The service sector activities touched the highest mark since April 2011 amid ongoing improvements in demand conditions, even as cost pressures in the service economy remained high, a monthly survey has said. The S&P Global India Services PMI Business Activity Index rose from 58.9 in May to 59.2 in June, its highest mark since April 2011. For the 11th straight month, the service sector witnessed an expansion in output. The upturn stemmed from ongoing improvements in demand following the end to pandemic restrictions, capacity expansion and a favorable economic environment. Firms were able to secure new orders despite charging more for their services. Moving on to the HDFC merger, the HDFC twins moved one more step closer to merger after banking sector regulator RBI's approval. Only last week, the two exchanges, BSE and NSE, approved the merger. The nod is subject to approvals from the Competition Commission of India, National Company Law Tribunal, other applicable authorities and the respective shareholders and creditors of the companies. The proposed entity will have a combined asset base of around rupees 18 lakh crore. The merger is expected to be completed by the second or third quarter of the financial year 2024. And time for some news on e-scooters. Now you can buy Chetak e-scooters from 75 locations in the current financial year. Bajaj Auto had brought back its iconic Chetak scooter in electric avatar in October 2019. Initially, Chetak was sold from only 2 locations, that is Pune and Bangalore. During the last fiscal, the company said that it has sold 8,187 units of the e-scooter. Elaborating on the chip shortage issue, Bajaj Auto chairman Neeraj Bajaj has said that the issue is expected to impact the company's production volume. He also said that it is difficult to predict when this supply scarcity will end. But till then, this will constrain the company's production volumes. And staying with EVs, the government has issued notices to EV makers seeking explanation on faulty vehicles being sold. The notices have been sent to Ola Electric, Okinawa Autotech and Pure EV among others. It wants to know why a penal action should not be taken against them for delivering faulty electric two-wheelers to the public. According to media reports, the EV makers have been given time till July end to respond in detail to the notices. Once the responses are in, the government will decide what action has to be taken. Last month, the Central Consumer Protection Authority (CCPA) sent notices to Pure EV and Boom Motors after their e-scooters exploded in April. And moving on to cryptos, three exchanges, ZepPay, WazirX and CoinDCX have suffered declines of between 60% and 87% in the value of daily trading immediately after the 1% tax deductible at source became effective on July 1st, data from a CoinGecko shows. A fourth, Geotis, saw trading sink of 70%, its chief executive has said, according to Bloomberg. These steep declines came from already depressed trading levels as a combination of plunging prices, tax regime and difficulty in getting cash onto exchanges combined to depress the market. Binance-backed WazirX, for example, did $3.8 million worth of trading on July 2nd, the day after TDS became effective. As a comparison, in early July last year, it would have taken less than 2 hours of trading to reach that mark. On to international news, the economy in China is reviving as service activity increased at a quick pace in June. Kayaxin service PMI went up from 41.4 in May to 54.5 in June. Service PMI is a barometer of business activity in the service sector, and a value of above 50 indicates that activities are expanding. China imposed a lockdown to control COVID, so now the opening up of the economy has led to a revival in the service sector. China is one of the biggest consumers of various commodities. However, COVID still poses threat to recovery. And talking about growth in Europe that could be slowing, global rating agency S&P has said that growth in the Eurozone could be slowing. Europe is already facing problems in the manufacturing sector due to the supply chain issues and war, and now even in the service sector, economic momentum is losing. Both consumer as well as business spending has taken a hit. On the employment side, both US and European employees are asking for wage hikes in IT and other sectors. This actually is good news for India. If IT workers are asking for a higher wage in Europe, then companies will look to hire IT people in India. And showdown with some updates on crude. Even though oil prices are continuously high, it seems that demand in Asia is not a concern for Saudi Arabia. Saudi Aramco has raised the August oil price for Asia. The price increased by $2.80 per barrel from July to $9.30 per barrel. High oil prices were already a problem for the rupee, India's trade balance and inflation. Now this news indicates that respite from oil, inflation is not near. Trade deficit of India has increased to $25.63 billion in the month of June. Experts feel that the slowdown in a global economy is reducing demand for Indian exports. Oil is driving high imports. This has led to trade deficits while the dollar is expected to breach the level of 80 rupees. That's all on Money Time today with me, Shrestha Tiwari. Keep watching Money9 for all your personal finance solutions.